Greetings, everybody. This is Ravana Noon back once again. And today's discussion will be Vampyre Magick, Sekhem Apep, Typhonian Magic. What many people don't understand is that whole Vampyre Magick, originally pronounced Vampyre Magick, originated in ancient Kemet, Egypt. Whatever name floats your boat to make you feel superior or happy at the end of the day, use it. However, what people do not understand is that Vampyre Magick is not some European phenomenon. It's not some recent invention. It actually exists way back to ancient Kemet, to the pre-dynastic and dynastic periods or time frames of Kemet. When we go into ancient Kemet, we have Satuh or Set. Set was and is and shall forevermore be the greatest of the gods. When you look at Set or Satuh, he's the embodiment and the spirit of absorbing the energy of all the gods or goddesses. He embodies every attribute of all the gods and goddesses. And he's the isolated consciousness. Now, why is this a problem? Well, see, we have to understand in ancient Kemet, even like in modern day times, society was ran by a religious order or priesthood or organization or a secret order or a political power or group. And in order to keep people spellbound or under control or easily manipulated, you have to give people a religion or a mindset that they cannot succeed on their own. That only with a higher power or a higher authority figure than themselves will they be able to succeed. Now, we understand that that is bullshit. In today's world, as we open our eyes and we start to expand our consciousness, we see that political power is an illusion because it is utilized by a small group of people to control the masses. Religious beliefs is also another example. For example, we have the Catholic Church, and underneath the Catholic Church, we have all of their smaller churches or archdiocese in their area. And the Pope is the superior figure and the mouthpiece of Jesus or God on earth. And Catholics the world over look to the Pope for their salvation, for their answers, for their guidance. In Protestant Christianity, they do the same. The pastor, preacher, reverend becomes everything to them. And everything is take it to God, take it to Jesus. Let's pray to God, let's pray to Jesus. And never do they give you a solution or an answer for yourself. And that is how to empower yourself. Well, Satuh Set in the metaphors and the mythological stories of ancient Kemet, he basically was the isolated consciousness. He's the one that said, screw all this following people, screw all this offerings and all this paying our way to the underworld or to some form of afterlife. Satuh Set was against all of those priesthoods and the manipulation of people and how they wanted you to be, how they wanted you to act, how they wanted you to be governed. And Satuh basically said, F you. I'm going to stand on my own 2 feet as my own God and manifest my desires and will into this physical plane of existence while I am still existing. That isolated consciousness got associated with chaos and the desert and storms. And what we do not understand is that chaos is a necessary part of life. chaos exists prior to order, and order is only another form of chaos, but chaos will always exist. Chaos is what's necessary for you to not remain stagnant, to not remain uh, in a calm state, in a state of comfortableness. Chaos comes in and wreaks havoc, turns your life upside down, and it does this for a particular reason. It does it because it's necessary for your life to be turned upside down sometimes, for you to face the facts about yourself and what you're hiding and what you're not facing and what you're basically ignoring about yourself. So when we deal with Satuk or Set and the Vampyre Magick, Vampyre Magick is a science on how to absorb chi or prana or Sekhem or a life force energy that is all around us, whether it's from people, whether it's from nature, whatever the case, it's always around us. And a predator, which is one of the laws of this universe, self-preservation, which is the law of surviving, which is survival of the fittest, which is basically you prey on that which is necessary for you to continue your progeny, your lineage, your heritage, and the weak dissolve. Now, what's happened in today's world, this right-handed path, light side of bullshit mentality of care for everybody, love everybody, I need to just be nice to people, is all fucking bullshit. Let me tell you, most people, y'all mostly are nice because you expect some kind of reward at the end of what you just did for being nice. In other words, I'm nice, I help a little old lady across the street carry her groceries, so I expect a reward, even if it's simple as saying, oh, you're such a sweet little guy, or you're such a sweet person, thank you for helping me. See, we want something for something. We just don't do it because it makes us feel good. We usually do it because we want something for something. Now, most of y'all may not agree with that shit because you're living in a lie, and most of y'all are living in some kind of form of illusion. But the reality is, most people do that shit because they want some kind of reward. Well, when we on the left-hand path, as Setians, as Luciferians, as vampires, or any other form of left-hand path, we do things because it causes us to grow, not for some reward, not for some form of recognition. We do it because we want to grow within ourselves and become greater than we were yesterday. So as we travel along the left-hand path, we start to seek ways to challenge ourselves, to improve ourselves, to become greater than we were yesterday, last week, last month, last year, etc., etc. So as we travel along the path, and Vampyre Magick is simply absorbing that chi, that prana, from anything and everything around us. Some of you are going to be afraid because you're such light-siders and so weak and so frail and so scary, and God and Jesus, Allah, Yahweh, Jehovah, crap shit that you're going to spill forth, and oh, this is my salvation and you need to be saved. Listen, I saved myself a long time ago. I need none of that and none of those fictitious mythological creatures, beings, or whatever you want to worship to save me. Okay? I saved myself, and if you think you need something outside yourself, you're a slave. Okay? You're still controlled and you're dumb as a fucking rock. Period. I don't care if you like it. Your opinions, keep them to yourself. If you don't like it, good. It makes you think. It causes something to stir inside you when you don't like something. Because ultimately, it comes down to your opinions and your perceptions. You have yours, I have mine, and that's how life is going to be. I'm not trying to convince you of shit. I'm here sharing for those who are looking or are seeking or are on this path. Period. Now, we have Sekhem Apep. The Sekhem Apep book by Michael W. Ford. This is a very good book for those who are seeking Vampyre Magick. There's also other books out there Also Vampyre Magick by Father Sebastian, which is also another very good book. There's a lot of books that deal with Vampyre Magick. Not all of them go back and take it to its furthest and closest origin back to ancient Kemet and pre-dynastic times. But every part of every magical system on this planet has some form of vampire or absorbing energy kind of magic. You just have to dig deep enough to find it. But as we go on this path, we have to understand that Satukh is symbolic of those on the left-hand path who are seeking to be isolated and not follow the norm and step by step govern their own life and take control. But the problem is, can you face yourself? Can you deal with your problems? Can you deal with your issues to overcome them? Or are you going to constantly make an excuse, ignore them, or turn a blind eye to it and act as if everything's okay? Drink yourself to sleep, drug yourself to sleep. Everything you're doing is everything to basically avoid facing the truth about yourself. Some of the shit you ain't gonna like about yourself. And that's just reality. But what are you willing to do about it? Are you going to be the same person making an excuse for your bullshit, for your weaknesses? Or are you going to use your weaknesses, embrace them, understand them, and empower yourself through them by learning how to take that weakness and make it a strength? In Vampyre Magick, we have many different rituals, but one thing we have to understand is that much of Vampyre Magick happens in the spiritual realm. Now, what is the spiritual realm? Well, according to Michael W. Ford, the spirit realm is perceived as the plane of mastery. The vampire, via ritual focus and self-determination, guides and controls the powers which manifest the deific mask, which slowly shape the world of flesh based on our desires. Now, understand this. The spirit realm. What is the spirit realm? Well, it ain't the physical. It's a realm that exists without flesh. It's a world that exists at a higher vibration and frequency than what we currently exist in, which is one of the slowest vibrations and frequencies. Energy has been and will always be and shall always exist. You can't destroy it. So thus, when your flesh ceases to exist, the very energy or force that keeps this body ticking, moving, that keeps it alive, will continue. The physical ceases to exist. So, in that spiritual realm, there is an abundance of energy. And it's in this realm that the vampire does its greatest work, because it feeds off of that energy to charge itself up even more, to continue to empower itself and strengthen its prana or chi or sekhem or whatever words you want to use for energy. And the vampire is dealing with the darkness of yourself as a black adept, learning to utilize your darkness, learning to utilize and empower yourself through that darkness. And it's essential that people understand this. It's essential that if this is a path you choose, that you understand that it's not a path for the weak, for the frail, for those who want to make excuses, for those who want to continue making excuses for their failures. It is a path of those who want to take charge and control their life and never look back. And that's important to understand, because when most people, we tend to do everything but empower ourselves. We think only those who are rich can have the power, only the politicians can have the power, only the reverends, pastors, preachers, imams, rabbis, sheikhs can have the power. But each and every human being can have this power and has the ability to empower themselves to greater heights than they can imagine. Now, one thing you have to understand in the Vampyre Magick path, left-hand path, Luciferian, Sethian path, this path is not one of return. There is no return in this path. It will change you and will change you forever. If you're allowed to change you, if you're allowed to empower yourself through this path, you will never look back. The vampire is initiated by the slow and insidious way over a long period of time. The mind is not destroying or removing empathy. Rather, it is clearly defining your self-accountability in this life for your potential and power. You are accountable for yourself. You are accountable to reach your potential and to regain the power that you have since birth. No one can do it for you, only you can. This is what people do not understand. The majority want someone or something to do it for them. Unfortunately, people, that's not a reality. This is why you remain a slave. This is why you remain controlled. And this is why forevermore you will be manipulated and pimped out by society's power players. The vampire is not necessarily one that wears black all the time. Okay? It's just a power color that is chosen, but not necessarily something we need to all the time. If it suits him or her, he adapts the outer appearance of conformity to the extent appropriate. So many people practice vampire magic. You will never realize it, recognize it, or see it because we mix in with the crowd. We don't stand out wearing dashikis and ankhs, extreme size ankhs, the size of Flavor Flav clocks, ankhs like this. We don't have to wear feathers and tarbushes. We don't have to pronounce that we're pro-black, that we're pro-white, that we're pro-anything. We don't have to pronounce that I'm the shit. Look at me. I'm so pro-black. I'm so African. I'm so whatever. I'm so Puerto Rican and have all the Puerto Rican flags decked out, the shirts, the pants, the shoes, the whole nine. That's a little bit extreme, but that's what you call attention whores. Those are people who basically are whores for attention, and they'll do anything to be identified because it's a mask or a gown or a cloth or clothing that they put on over themselves that masks their real issue that's inside of them. So this attention seeking manifests in external ways, and sometimes that's lavish clothing. Unfortunately, a lot of those people tend to have super issues inside of them that they refuse to face. So they go to the extreme and be pro-black. Every white man is the devil, and every white man did this. Bull motherfucking shit. True, I understand and I know personally firsthand as a Puerto Rican brother, okay, who knows his African ancestry, his Taino ancestry and lineage, firsthand facing discrimination and racism in New York City and Hartford, Connecticut, okay, and even down here now in Orlando, Florida. I understand firsthand racism, and I understand firsthand, but one thing I will not do is feed my energy and my power to the white man or any other man or woman outside of myself. Do you not realize that every time you guys pronounce and continue white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy, you actually are making them stronger? You actually are feeding them your energy and increasing their power, which is nothing more than an illusion. You feed their illusion of power, and you basically program your subconscious mind every time you say white power, white supremacy, and the white man did this to us, and white man's doing this, white man's trying to kill us, white man's doing that. Bullshit. Let me tell you why. Because one of the ways you program subconscious mind is through repetition. This is why when you listen to your hip hop or R&B songs, there's a hook line, and that hook line or that hook basically is the part you remember the most because it's repetitively being played throughout the song. And it opens up your subconscious mind to be programmed. So thus, the more you keep telling yourself, white supremacy, this white man did this, white man did this, your subconscious mind is creating your reality. So the reality is you empower the white man to actually be your master and be control you and enslave you. So you dumbass motherfuckers, you deserve the shit you're getting. You deserve getting smacked around because you're not realizing that you're programming yourself and empowering people who have illusions of power and making them feel superior to you because of your ways and actions, and not realizing that the way to become a master is mastering self. Not a group of people, not a culture, not a race. Yourself first. And once you master yourself first, then you can worry about somebody outside of yourself. But until then, you will never ever succeed in a path of unification with masses of people if you're divided and destroying yourselves from within, because your cells are fucked up from the pain, the trauma, the wounds, and the issues from your childhood to today. You have to start facing yourself. And unless you do that, there is no path to unification. Because the only path to unification begins with self and self only. So unfortunately, right now, you're feeding a lie. And you're feeding it so much that you have now been controlled by this. Now, Black Lives Matter. Fuck you. Let me say it precisely. Black Lives Matter. Fuck you. You know why? Because 1,000 people died in Haiti. I don't see your motherfucking asses down in Haiti trying to help people, trying to send clothes, trying to send food, trying to do that. But the minute one black man or black woman gets shot, you're all over that. You're marching and protesting. You're there inciting. But 1,000 of your own black people died in Haiti, and I don't see one of y'all coons motherfucking down in Haiti right now. Not just Haiti, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Cuba, where there's a lot of black people there too. But y'all asses ain't there. So please, with that Black Lives Matter, y'all just another controlled group, another group set up by society and the government powers that be to incite and agitate. But y'all motherfucking monkeys ain't doing a goddamn thing. You really want to help? Go out there and help your people. Grassroots, face to face, bring them shit. We doing it. You can too. We don't need to talk about what we're doing. We just do it. We send help to the people, what they really need. We send them the clothes and the toiletries and things of that nature. Y'all still worried about what black man got shot this week, what a black woman got shot this week. But 1,000 of your own people died in motherfucking Haiti, and I ain't hear a peep from none of y'all motherfucking Black Lives Matter, RBG, or any of you coons. Not one of y'all. I was on the black hand, black side, black life, black power movement. When I was 18 years old, I belonged to all of that. Universal Zulu Nation, X-Clan's Black Watch movement. I went to the Young Lords for the Puerto Rican empowerment. I did all that shit. None of that shit ever did a goddamn thing for our people. Because you're trying to do it for a group of people who have no self-actualization, no self-empowerment. Okay? When that is accomplished, then you can move as a force. But it starts one person at a time. But people, y'all do this because you're pimping your people, you're manipulating your people, and you don't really give a shit as much as you think. You really want to give power to your people. You really want to increase transformation of your people. Take them and show them how to master themselves. Give them examples of how to master themselves so they can do it for themselves. Okay? Y'all really want to march and protest and do some shit? Why don't we get 1 million black people together, 1 million black people and people of color, Latinos, Puerto Ricans, whatever, together, and have 1 million man and woman drumming ceremony, bringing down the energy to the Orisha, the Nkisis, bringing down the power of our ancient ancestors, the Netru, and whatever you want to call them. That's how you really do it. You bring down the power, those archetype energies inside you, so you embody that energy and frequency, and we can transform them. But y'all ain't ready for that, because y'all rather make excuses and blame other people instead of taking responsibility for yourselves. This is what Satuk and Set represent. This is Vampyre Magick. We empower ourselves, we take control, and we utilize energy all around us to empower ourselves to greater heights. We face our darkness, master our darkness. We embrace the chaos and bring our order to our own chaos, but we utilize the chaos to create change in and all around us. That's Vampyre Magick. That's Luciferianism. That's Satianism. But see, we've been taught all that is wrong because we're so blinded by religion. We're so light-sided, right-handed path that we're away from our original path. Setukh was one of the most powerful gods. As a matter of fact, in the Coming Forth by Day, improperly called the Egyptian Book of the Dead, he was called the greatest of gods because Setukh embodied all the attributes of all the gods into one. He was the greatest of the gods, and that was our original way, but we got far away from it. There's a triad of darkness. This triad of darkness is Setukh or Set, is Sekhem, and is Anpu. Those triad of darkness is necessary for you to understand. Because Sethan or Set, Setukh, represents the darkness, represents that inward journey of self. And that inward journey towards the real self, you're going to encounter a lot of things you may not like to hear about yourself. A lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas, a lot of actions that you may not like. But you're going to have to deal with it because until you do, there's no true overcoming or healing until you do that. Sekhem represents that anger, that hate. It's not wrong to have anger. It's not wrong to hate. Although society wants to condition and control everybody to have no anger or hate so that you can easily be enslaved and manipulated. Your anger or hate, when channeled in the proper direction, makes you more powerful. And Anup, or Anubis, or Anubis, or Anubis, or Anup, represents death. He is the master of the physical and the spiritual world. He's the guide to the past, the recently deceased, and represents the mastery of our life and death. Triad of darkness is something y'all should all seek to understand, and it's within the Vampyre Magick. And this triad has been around for thousands of years and known in ancient Kemet. But we're so Kemetic, we're so Egyptologists, we know everything. You all know shit. Y'all know about the fucking light-sider, fucking fluffy ways of Kemet that y'all want to teach to everybody. And that's very far from the truth. In ancient Kemet, they had a very black magical side. They had a very left-handed path side that dealt with deeper knowledge of the dark side in the abyss of self and how to master these things. But y'all want to keep it fluffy and sweet. Y'all really don't know shit about ancient Kemet. You know the shit that has only been released and put out there, and you accept that and you build on it and you argue about it, you debate about it, are irrelevant. Because if you really want to understand, live the shit. Live Kemet. Not just speaking meta-neta, which is really irrelevant in today's world, because who are you really going to speak with outside of your small little community or group? Who are you going to communicate with when it comes to business? Bartering and trading and things of that nature. Exactly. It's good to know for yourself. It's good to use for religious or for magical purposes, but outside of that, master the language you fucking living in. Okay? Whether it's English, Spanish, French, or whatever, master that shit and learn other languages that are relevant to your time and existence today. So when we deal with the Satian energy, we have to understand it's the isolated consciousness. It's not about following people. And what we also have to understand is that the left-hand path has its origins in ancient Kemet and in India. Because some of the tantric masters were some of the originators of the left-hand path in India. They refused to follow society and its norms and morals and things of that nature. They felt that living, encountering, and indulging in taboos, societal taboos, is the way to break free from your borders, boundaries, restrictions, and limitations, and become a master over self. And they were looked upon as heretics and extremists, but they had a point. And in ancient Kemet, Set or Setuh, they had a point. So, as we continue these video series of Luciferian, Setian, Black Magic, Left Hand Path, we'll go deeper and deeper into them. If you would like to contact me, you can contact me at Ravana Noon. That's R-A-V as in Victor, A-N as in Nancy, A-N as in Nancy, U-N as in Nancy, at Outlook.com. Once again, that's Ravana Noon at Outlook.com. If you have any questions, comments, you can reach me there. On these videos, I disable the comments. I ain't got time to argue with y'all. I ain't got time to listen to your fucking personal opinions, what you like and don't like. That's irrelevant to me, because it's still your perception, your opinion. The shit ain't gonna change shit on my path and the 30 years I've been traveling this path and the experiences I've gained on this path. It ain't gonna change shit. So I disable the comments. That's for you and y'all to argue amongst yourselves about what is right, what you like about what I'm saying, don't like what I'm about to say. Again, it's what you like or don't like. Got shit to say to do with what I'm building on. But if you want to reach me and contact me on some shit, on some building shit, and you want to learn some shit, or you want to share some shit and exchange some real wisdom and knowledge, then by all means, hit me up at Ravana Noon, Outlook.com. You can also reach us at Awakening Universal Minds on the Facebook page, which is operated by our good brother Asar Gidi. And you can leave questions or comments there. Outside of that, I hope to see y'all this Thursday on Awakening Universal Minds show. Awakening Universal Minds on TalkShoe.com at 9 p.m. All right. Peace.